Good morning, everyone. This is Wednesday, the 2nd of August. We are standing at the location of an old mine pit that I'll have to get you some more description on it in a moment. But it's an unusual, at least in my mind, item to have in the city of Malmö. Here's another different view of it over here.
Looks like they got right down there at the bottom of the trail. Check it out.
Yeah. They started to dig actually about 5 kilometers south of here in a place called Clarkstown in the like 1700, and then there was a cement factory out there also, a small one. And then in the late 1800s they started to dig here, and they built a cement factory about 2 kilometers that way. We're gonna see that a little bit later. That cement factory is torn down about 10 years ago and replaced with housing. But they stopped mining here around early 70s, mid 70s. So when I was a kid growing up in the 60s, the ground here was like 3 o'clock every afternoon. And there are cracks in all the houses around here.
Wow.
And but then in the mid 70s they shut it down, and the factory was idle at that time because of that. But they kept it because they shipped a lot of limestone from Gotland. In the northern part of Gotland, in the northeast part, there is the biggest limestone, mine.
Really?
A limestone mine
Wow.
in Sweden, in Gotland. Yeah. So they shipped all the limestone from there and the cement down to this factory. It was the same company, and then they shipped it from here out to the world. So it was. It functioned like that for, I don't know, 20-25 years. And this one, when they stopped mining here, they had a lot of ideas here. They were going to build ski slopes, pools, water reserve. They were going to cover it with ping pong balls just to keep it like a heat reserve. And they were going to pour water into it from the sea during daytime when the electricity was expensive, and then pump it out again in the nighttime when the electricity was cheap. They had a lot of ideas, but eventually they found a lot of rare species down here. Everything from very rare frogs to deers, well, not rare deers, but deers, and they also found a lot of fauna that was quite unusual. So they turned it into a nature reserve. Maybe 10 years ago, and it's not open to public, but you can go down there every once in a while with the municipality or with the church groups and stuff like that if you apply. And I've been down there a few times in the recent years, but I was like way past 50 when I was down there the first time.
Wow.
Even though I'd grown up next to it and everything. So this is Copenhagen on the other side.
Yes.
Okay, here we at the only bridge between Denmark and Sweden. And notice that there is a large tanker of some sort going underneath the bridge at this very moment. This is a bridge tunnel construction between Malmö and Copenhagen.
This bridge, the first plans for this bridge was in the 1800s. So they've been thinking about a bridge for a long, long time.
Wow.
And then there was a lot of debate. Environmentalists were like...
A few sailboats out here in the strait.
The Danish and the Swedish governments were battling this for years and years and years, decades. Finally, in the early 90s, they decided to build it. and in '96 they started, and in 2000 it was ready. So 1st of July 2000, the King of Sweden and the Queen of Denmark, they are cousins, met on the bridge and opened it with their second cousins, children, in a big thing. And there were a lot of events, runnings and bicycle things and things going on the bridge at the time. Yeah, it took 4 years to build it.
That's all?
Yeah.
Does anybody find that wild?
It's funny, you know.
Tog det
Compared
verkligen
to-
4 år?
Yeah.
Tog det verkligen 4 år?
If they would build it in Indonesia, it would take 1 year. If
Really?
they build it in China, it would take 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tog det
Yeah,
verkligen
it took
4
4
år?
years, and it's about 12 kilometers long, about 4 kilometers, 5 kilometers bridge. Then there is about 4 kilometer man-made island,
Oh, yeah.
and then there is 4 kilometers tunnel. Now you can see a plane landing over there in Kastrup, coming down close to the ground.
Oh.
I don't know if you see
We
it.
know, yeah. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do see it. I definitely do. Yeah, what we know, I remember from then is there was tons of windmills out
There is.
in the water over there.
You don't see them so clear today, but actually behind the sailing boat there, you can see towers sticking up.
My eyes aren't that good.
Yeah,
Well, I do see towers over
yeah,
there.
that's,
Yes,
that's
yes.
20 windmills in the sea.
Yes, I do see them.
Yeah. So this little thing sticking out here was just here while they were building the bridge
Right.
for shipping and stuff, bringing things down here. But they kept it because it's a good fishing place for people,
Oh,
so they wanted to use it for fishing. But it was built just for construction of the bridge. So there is a 4-lane highway on the bridge, and there is a train underneath, and it's not open for walking or bicycling or something like that. Motorbikes, of course, can pass. Bigger motorbikes. And it's about $40 to go back and forth. And right, you see the harbor kind of curves in here inland, and that's where the ferry used to go to Denmark before the bridge was constructed. We had a ferry here, a small ferry, or a couple of them. It took about 1 hour to go across to Denmark.
We're spider webs, so it kind of grosses me out. I don't like spiders.
This time of year, there is a lot of spider webs.
I really don't like spiders.
My boys,
Spider webs.
my boys hate it.
Like, look at all these. Look.
The good thing is that we have no poisonous spiders in Sweden.
Oh, really?
The only thing that is poisonous in Sweden, actually, in the nature, is the.
Yeah.
They stay over there. Yeah, if I stay there.
All right, here we have a real nice little sailboat coming into the harbor that you've seen at my back over here. Not a very large sailboat, but
On the way to my house, we're gonna stop over at that house that I built. Okay. I'm just gonna run in and buy some more biscuits. And finish it by Christmas '60. He didn't build it entirely by himself, but he worked at a construction firm, and he had a lot of friends helping him, carpenters and stuff like that. And then he went around he was constructing bridges and harbors and stuff like that. My dad, he was what we call a water engineer, water and road engineer. But he had other people in the company constructed houses, so he got some help from them as well. And then he went around to building sites, and after they tore down the molds, concrete molds and so on, he took all the lumber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He built the house, a lot of that. So yeah, so this is where I grew up I was born in '62, so a few years after mom and dad moved here. And my mom, my dad passed away just a few months after Kathleen and David was here last night.
Okay, here at my cousin Lars Lind home in Lindham, which is a subdivision of Malmö, you see he's got blackberry bushes here along the fence. And we're going to enjoy picking our own blackberries and having some ice cream and coffee with them. I thought I'd get a picture of these before my family takes them and eats all of them. There are a bunch. You can see part of his backyard. Play a little bit football.
Where's the blackberries at?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Okay, here we go. Lars is going to raise the two flags up.
De ligger båda. Ska du dra upp dem?
Try some of the blackberries. They're very good.
Here we go.
Barely do it.
You see, official Borgs have arrived.
Oh, there's plenty of it up there.
Yeah.
Pappa, är det en bra idé?
Ja.
Jag tror inte det.
Wow.
I think it's a good.
How will you get them? So neat.
Thank you, Lars.
Pappa, det blåser inte ens så mycket.
Ja, här är lite vind. Not so windy today.
Pretty cool. Okay, here we stand in front of the Lund, Sweden, Old Cathedral. A beautiful replica of the entire church. You can tell by the other objects in the video how large it is. Here is an astronomical clock. Is it?
They started building it. Oh my goodness.
You can see some of the crypt area where some burials at.
But the crypt has been basically the same ever since it was finished. So you can come here for 900 years ago, 1 month and 3 days ago. And then you would see the same pillars, the same roof and walls.
Blah, 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 blah. They are of the giant Finn and his wife and child, Gerda and son. In the legend, Finn threatens that the church will never be finished. Actually, it's a promise. Even an old church has room for new forms of expression. So I think this is wife and child, and then Finn is the tall man over there.
Okay. This is the very front or east end of the cathedral. This is looking towards the west, and you can see the pipe organ, the pipes on the sides of the windows back there, plus the pulpit.